I am CELINE HILDA Mary, Assistant Professor in the Department of Biochemistry, St. Joseph's College of Arts and Science, Cuddalore. Now I am going to talk about the bleeding time. First we will see about the definition, which is a time required to stop the flow of blood from the cut in the finger or any part of the body. Bleeding time, which is the first functional platelet evaluation test, which is introduced by Duke in 19th century. He used to detect defects in primary homeostasis, used as a screening test for vascular disorders as well as for the platelet function test. This is the principle involved in the bleeding time. A standardized incision is made on the volar surface of forearm. The time the incision bleeds is measured. Cessation of bleeding indicates the formation of homeostatic blood, which depends upon the number of platelets and on the ability of the platelets to adhere the subendothelium. These are the methods used to detect the bleeding time. First one is the Duke's method and another one is the IV Weiss method. First we will see about the IV Weiss method. These are the requirements used for the detection. BP cuff, disposable lancet, stopwatch, filter paper, spirit or alcohol. This is the procedure involved in the detection of the bleeding time. First we have to clean the inner aspect of the forearm and place the blood pressure cuff on the upper arm. Inflate to 40 mm of mercury. Select an area on the volar surface which is devoid of veins, which should be performed at room temperature. A disposable lancet with a point of about 3 mm or number 11 Parker surgical plate can be used. A 3 skin punctures of 1 mm deep and 3 mm long are made. Stopwatch is started as soon as the bleeding starts in each wound. Using the edge of a filter paper, that is Watman number 1, blot the blood accumulated over the wound. The time from which incision was made to the time at which the bleeding stops to stain the filter paper is taken. The average of 3 bleeding time is taken. The blood pressure cuff is removed. Next, the puncture wounds are cleaned and covered with the sterile bandage. The longer of the duplicate time will be the most accurate one. If the bleeding continues more than 15 minutes, apply pressure. Repeat the bleeding time on other arm. Report greater than 15 minutes is detected. Reports correlated with platelet count and finger prick smear. The reference range is 2 to 7 minutes. Next we will see about the advantages of the bleeding time. Standardized method is used, which is a standardized method. Bleeding time is more accurate in this method. Normal bleeding time is 3 to 8 minutes. Duke's method, which is easy to perform, requires minimum requirement such as alcohol, sterile, lancet, stopwatch and filter paper is needed. The procedure involved in this process is, first of all, we have to clean the earlobe with alcohol sponge, hold glass slide behind the earlobe, make a deep puncture with a sterile lancet, start the stopwatch, discard the glass slide, using filter paper, blot the drop of blood coming out from the incision. When bleeding ceases, stop the stopwatch, count the number of drops on the filter paper and multiply it by 30 seconds. Report the closest minutes. If the cut bleeds more than 10 minutes, discontinue the test. What are the advantages of this Duke method is, The air lobe contains abundant subcutaneous tissues and is vascular. Flow of the blood is quite good. Normal bleeding time is 3 to 5 minutes. Disadvantages: difficult to get a standardized wound. These are the clinical significance of the bleeding time. That is, prolonged bleeding time indicates the thrombocytopenia, disorders in platelet function, thrombocytopenia, storage pool disease, Bernard-Soulier syndrome, vascular disorders, afibrinogenemia, aplastic anemia, leukemia, liver disease, von Willebrand disease, vascular abnormalities, severe deficiency of factor 5 and 11. Thank you.